Hi guys, I'm going to be playing in a Papa Challenge with Blurred Flicker. So there's a kind of a new meta going on right now. Basically, it's kind of Blue Black Delver and Boros Bully, kind of at the top tier. Um, yeah, so while kind of this new meta was going on, I've been trying a few decks. I tried a few versions of Tron. I tried some Boros and some Blue Black myself. But I think the deck that I like the most is this Blue Red Flicker deck. I think this deck is really good. In particular, I think it's quite good into both Black Delver and both layers of Boros. It's also good against. It's also I think it's quite good against Stoker and Tron, and it's good against Tron in general as long as they don't play Wretched Gryff. Um, in addition, it's also it's also decent against elves as these blue red decks tend to always be, and um, it's not it's not as good as it could be against Stompy, but it's also uh, it's also decent there. In fact, one of the changes to this deck, which is swapping Mulldrifter for Spellstutter, actually makes the Stompy matchup better as well. So actually, I'll just get into specific cards. So there, compared to Blur Flicker that I played in the past, probably the biggest change is that I cut Mulldrifter and added Spellstutter Sprite. I originally did this in response to Black Delver because it's kind of hard to get a big card resolve, and you actually don't need that much card advantage to beat Black Delver because they don't play a lot of card advantage. So I was trying Spellstutter Sprite, but actually now that I've played it more, I actually am I'm kind of convinced that Blue Red Flicker probably should have always been playing Spellstutter Sprite. Spellstutter Sprite is uh, it's still true for one. It's a great flicker target in the sense that, frequently what you're digging for is a counterspell. And then with Spellstutter Sprite, you can just flicker the sprite to counter something. This comes up a lot, especially in Boros, where they try to aim a lot of removal spells at your face or at your Arcanomancer. And then flickering Spellstutter Sprite is pretty good. Um, yeah, Spellstutter Sprite also contests Monarch. It's better against aggro decks. And Mulldrifter is frequently just too much. I mean, you really don't need that much card advantage, and it's also it's just a clunky card in general. So after playing with Spellstutter Sprite, I'm actually kind of convinced that this deck maybe should have had Spellstutter Sprite all along. The other card that so kind of like with losing Mulldrifter, I've also added a few Deep Analysis, and there's even one more on the board. So this is Deep Analysis is good against Blue Black Delver and Boros and stuff like that. So the thing with Blue Black is that it's not like actually super fast. They actually take a while to kill you, but they are really good at Blue Black Delver basically will win most of the counter wars. So when you play against Blue Black Delver, you kind of just repeatedly jam stuff into them. Just like eventually they'll run out of stuff. Don't worry about playing around Daze. You're never going to be your Daze is always going to be live, presumably because if you try to fight any kind of war, they're going to win it. So basically, just always just jam cards in them, and for that, Deep Analysis is really good. Yeah, so that's kind of the replacement, or one of the replacements for Mulldrifter. Some of the other changes are I've gone even higher up in terms of cantrips, and in fact, I'm playing and I swapped. This deck used to play a lot of Brainstorms, but I swapped a lot of Pounders. So I think this deck wants to hit its first 6 or 7 land drops. So really, one of the main things you want to be digging with cantrips is lands. And this deck plays very low land count, 21 lands. For if you want to hit 6 mana. So basically, cantrips are really important for getting that. And again, this is another change that I think Blue Flicker maybe should have had all along. But yeah, I'm up to 9 cantrips now. Some other changes are I cut down on counterspells. So I think Counterspell isn't good against Black Delver or Boros Bully. Against Boros Bully, it might counter Palace Sentinels, but really that's not even that big of an issue because you usually have a lot of creatures in play. Spellstutter Sprite is annoying for Monarch. And in fact, this deck just frequently overpowers Monarch, so that's not a huge concern. It's also not good against Blue Black Delver because you're not winning any counter war. So this counterspell is being 2 mana to trade with their however much mana they have is a bad trade. So yeah, so counterspell is bad against those decks. It's still good against Tron. It's still good against Boros Monarch, not Boros Bully. So and frequently you still want a few copies against many matchups. But yeah, I've trimmed down on those. Adding extra dispels. So dispel is mainly good against. Well, it's you do still want a bit of counter magic, and trimming down on counter spells, I decided to add some dispels to kind of compensate for that. And dispels are much better against Blue-Black Delver than counterspell, just because of the 1 mana difference. Screds for Gurmag Angler, and I'm playing 2 Fire and Ice. I think Fire Ice is, with Boros Bully being token based, I think Fire Ice is good there. Incredibly, this card is really good against Delver, and yeah, I think it's also just a good card overall. You can cycle it pretty easily. You can do a lot of tricks with knocking someone off of strands by tapping their white creature, knocking them off of a vial by tapping the land or whatever, something like that. So yeah, lots of things you can do. Fire Ice I think is pretty good. Yeah, and otherwise the creature suite, I'm only playing 3 Spellstutter Sprite. They can be a little bit clunky. So yeah, only 3, and I sometimes might send them out. Yeah. Finally, yeah, I have 3. I have the Arcanomancers and Ghostly Flicker. Some of the more techie cards is I'm playing One Echoing Truth. So this is just kind of a flexible card. It could frequently hit your own creatures to get extra value. It could bounce a lot of tokens. Emergency situations, it could be used as a removal spell, but that's usually not very good. It can bounce Journey if you are at the same game where you kind of have Boros overwhelmed. Yeah, it's kind of a flex card. Mainly, it's against tokens, but it has a lot of uses. I have 1 Curse of Chains in the main, and 2 more on the side. This is for Blue-Black Delver. Curse of Chains hitting either the Gurmag or their Stormrun guys. They're all decent. And I have 1 Relic of Progenitus. My plans against Blue-Black and Boros Bully don't actually revolve around Relic that much. I think against Boros Bully, I mainly will only get to use Relic of Progenitus to kind of knock out strands. And which is all right, but which is all right. So having 1 copy of Relic isn't that bad, but I don't think it's that great in general. So I didn't go overboard with multiple copies in the main. Against Blue-Black Delver, it also is only okay. So basically, the only thing it does against Blue-Black Delver is it kind of slows down Gurmag, and that's good because you want to buy time for Scred, but you can usually reach Scred mana anyways, and it's just kind of not super good there. But yeah, I mean it cycles, so having 1 in the main is fine. There's random uses for Graveyard Hate, so yeah. Yeah, so that's the main. In the side, I have the counterspells I'm missing from the main. So these come in against things like Tron or Boros Bully. I have a few blasts. I have 3 Pyroblasts and 2 Hydroblasts. So I only have 3 Pyroblasts because I don't think I want to side in 4 against Blue-Black Delver. I probably get to that more when if I ever get to play against Blue-Black Delver. I have 2 Hydroblasts. These could be Dispels as well, but I would like them against Affinity. And obviously they're good against Blitz and stuff, and Burn, even though those aren't super popular. But yeah, I figured I'd play it safe with 2 Hydroblasts. I can set them in against Tron as well because they counter Pyroblast, and in Tron, kind of probably the most important battle to be fighting is over the stack, and so Hydroblast is actually good there, even though it only hits 4 cards. And yeah, I have some more removal. I have 2 more Curse of Chains. I have 1 Serrated Arrows, 2 Electricity. These numbers could be swapped. Maybe I want 2 Serrated Arrows. But I figured I would hedge against Elves more. Serrated Arrows I think is better against Delver and Tribe. But Electricity is kind of a little bit better against a lot of the green decks. So yeah, this is where I'm hedging. And I have 1 Flame Slash. It's kind of a flexible card. If I face Affinity or Stompy or somehow Blitz or something, I'll be happy to have it. Also good against the Elves. So yeah, that's a deck. Yeah, so I think this deck is really good. I would definitely recommend it. In fact, I'm probably going to stick with this deck for a little bit. I think it's very good in the current meta. I feel favored against almost all top decks. The decks that it's bad against, like Boggles and Tribe, aren't really being played right now. It's not super great into Stompy, but there's also low numbers of Stompy right now because Stompy also isn't good in Boros. So yeah, also not that great into Affinity, but maybe Blue Black is helping keep Blue Affinity under control. So yeah, I think, and all those matchups are kind of winnable, maybe. Spellstutter Sprite is, over Mulldrifter actually helps a lot in these unfair matchups. So yeah, I think this deck is very good, and let's see how it goes.